the past several hours. I do want to discuss a little bit further the situation there on the ground. So let's bring in Ellie Bufkin. She is with the Foundation for Defense of Democracies and is over there in Israel right now. Ellie, thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. And first off, I did want to ask you just what the situation is like right now, because I know everything's kind of in flux and folks are preparing for the potential for more rocket fire.
Yeah, we are. And we have heard that we should absolutely expect that as soon as the sun starts to go down, sort of Sabbath comes to an end here in Jerusalem. We are expecting to return to our -3 level bunker at the hotel. We're feeling very safe here and actually pretty optimistic. So, it's one thing. Obviously, it was maybe not the time I would have chosen to come here if I had gotten the opportunity to plan, but we certainly feel safe. Israel is a nation that really takes their security very seriously, and they take the security of their visitors and, of course, of their own citizens very seriously. So I honestly am so grateful to be here because we do feel that we're being directed in a very skilled and thoughtful manner.
Can you explain to me what it's like there when you go into, I don't know if you would want to call it like a bunker or how you would fully describe it, but you said it's in the hotel, right? Can you explain to me what it looks like for folks who have never experienced that?
Yeah, it's, I guess I don't want to tell you exactly where it is, but it is within the hotel, very, in a very secure area. It's built, with reinforced concrete and shelter doors. It's a large space. It's equipped with Wi-Fi. It's equipped with water. It's equipped with food, television, so that we can keep an eye on what's going on. And certainly, I'm here with a large group from media, so we all have access to our own sort of databases and friends outside and in the U.S. who are keeping us up to date. So it's a little warm and it's a little cramped when we all have to sort of get to that area together, the entire hotel, which isn't very occupied. There's a few groups here that are waiting to get out of the country. So, it's not where you want to be at 3 o'clock in the morning, but we certainly are grateful to be, in an area. We have people with us who live in Israel and are just with our group, and they're saying, their families also have, safe rooms, but they're feeling even safer here in Jerusalem in the hotel. So it's the best case scenario for us visiting here.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that the homes there, apartments, all of them have kind of safe rooms for if this situation were to unfold. Can you break down for me what you hear as all of this does get underway? Because you have the rockets and missiles and things of that nature, but what you're hearing are alerts. Do you hear anything intercepted over you? How does all of that work based on where you're located?
Yeah. So initially, on the first night, when we were awoken by surprise at 3 a.m. By the first alarm, we didn't hear anything except for the hotel alarm, which was very loud and got us all out of bed to enter the safe area. Last night, we started early in the night going into the shelter and then coming back out a few times and taking breaks and going back. And then they sent us back. And then we heard actual interceptions happening not too far from Jerusalem, but far enough that our alarms actually did not sound for that. So we were able, right before dawn, many of us were able to open the window and actually see some of the interceptions happening in the sky. I was awoken by actual booms in the distance, so actual missiles being intercepted. And that barrage, I was told, there were no breakthroughs. So I'm not 100% sure that I can say that that's accurate, but that's what I was told. So as much as it's terrifying, especially, I've never seen anything like that. So to see that is a new experience for me, but to know that we were so secure during that is pretty remarkable. It's definitely surreal to be here as an American. I know for Israelis, this is a day-to-day life for them. They expect this. The Houthis have been firing rockets almost on a daily basis for months now. Iran certainly has done this before, maybe not to this level. So it's remarkable to see the fortitude and just the sort of stiff upper lip mentality that is shared by so many Israelis. And it's very comforting as somebody who's visiting, I have to say.
And I did want to ask you, because you kind of touched on this, but what is that like when you hear a missile, rocket, whatever you want to call it, a projectile being intercepted right above you or in the distance? You said some people were able to watch it happen. What is that like for you to actually experience that?
And like you'd think that the first reaction would be terror and shock, but my first reaction was just kind of like, I can't believe that I'm actually seeing this. Like I said, it's surreal. You never think what it's like to actually see a missile headed towards you or in the vicinity of where you are. And I'm very blessed to be in America, and we've certainly been attacked. But this is something that I did not grow up with. So I don't feel scared. And again, I think that that's a lot of credit to, the people here on the ground, the security that's with our team, and the amount of work that's being done behind the scenes to make sure that we're safe at all times. There's people in DC keeping us safe. There's people right here in Israel. There's people at our embassy right here in Jerusalem that are working 24 hours to make sure that American citizens are safe. And of course, Israel is doing everything they can to keep their citizens safe. And as everyone keeps reminding us all, that Israel is the most defended country on planet Earth. So it's definitely a consolation.
All right. Ellie, thank you so much for taking the time to join us here and kind of discuss what you're dealing with and what so many other people are dealing with there that they're not used to seeing, because maybe they did travel here from the U.S., where obviously we don't deal with that situation. But anything else that you want to add? Anything I missed before I let you go?
Nothing you missed. I do just want to add, we were finally able to get out a little bit today and just see this beautiful city. And the skies are calm right now. It's a remarkable place to visit. And I just want to say that I'm not suffering from a lot of, I wish I hadn't come now as my first visit to Israel. I'm very grateful to be here for such a historic moment. This is a turn in tide in the Middle East, and specifically, between Israel and Iran and all of their terror proxies in the region. So it's remarkable to see this fortitude from Israel, to see the partnership between the U.S. and Israel come to fruition, and after all these many months of covering this. So it's very cool to be part of history as a student of history and as a lover of history. So I'm very grateful for that. And as I said, I feel very safe. So I am looking forward to getting home, and I know my family is worried. So hopefully that will be sooner rather than later. But as I said, we're pretty secure here.
All right. Ellie Bufkin there, Foundation for Defense of Democracies, joining us from Israel. Thank you so much for joining us. And please stay safe out there.
Will do. Thanks, Josh.
And I do want to